Hi there. It is time to glue on the button. And if you take a look at this, you'll see that the fit is perfect. The end of the button is about identical to the width of the slide there where it meets. And that means that when you push on the button, all the force will go to the slide. It also looks good. And, it's seated 100%. Okay, so what we want to do now is to glue these two together. And I'll show you the method I use. Okay. So I'm going to take that off like that. I'm going to test it at several places and see, can I get it on anywhere pretty much? And the answer is yes. Okay, well, first thing is, since we're doing close work, I would recommend these close-up glasses, and I would also recommend a light, just to give extra light at what we're doing. Now, there are many ways to glue on a button, but the best glue by far is 2-part metal epoxy, which is a very high power glue. And the way that epoxy is done is you take and you put an amount on the card, about like that, okay? And then this is part B, okay? It comes part A and part B. And there they are, part A and part B. These go back into their container like that. Okay, now wipe off my hand. I'm going to come here and I'm going to mix them. Once they mix, they start their chemical reaction. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, and then I wipe it off. This is a teeny little screwdriver. I then take the button, okie dokie, look at as close as I can, and you fill in the underside of that button with the glue as best as you can. All the way. Right like that. Then wipe off your tool. And to clean this, you just rub it right along like that. And just wipe off the extra. And do it again. And look to see that it's full, and it is. And then you insert the button on. Okie dokie. Now the tine in the slide is absolutely correct in its size. There's no slop or anything. I take the index card and just kind of pick off the extra. And then once that's dirty, it does not get used anymore. And you take one that's not dirty. And the paper will pick it up. And come back and do that again. Okay. That goes on there so that it can't get to the air anymore. And this is our piece. Now what we're going to do is take off the splints. I don't need them anymore. I don't want them anymore on here. Why were the splints on there? The wooden splints? Because that's how you work with a slide and don't bend it up. Any little teeny little bend in a slide is going to cause you serious problems. All right, and we take this. Now, we take this off. Come here. And we take that off. Okay. Now, the slide is still covered in black tape. And the reason for that is that that's how we got stiction between the slide and the splints. And so now we have, again, the absolutely precisely placed slide, and I want to make sure that my angle is 100%. I do see a little bit more extra goop here, and I'm just getting microscopic amounts out. Okay. Now, the next thing, now you notice I didn't take a card and or like paper and come in here because it'll grab some of that glue out of the hole. And I can always scrape off that tiny bit of epoxy. So let's take a look again at what we have. Okay. You see how the button is totally flush down? It's like this, and there is tiniest residue. That won't cause a problem. Okay, now we have to find a way to have this held in position perfectly until it dries. And I'll show you what I use. A book on composers, no less. And I put it here. And I put this right into that corner, like that. And it will hold that slide in perfect position until such time as it has dried. Okay. And that completes the video of how to glue a button onto a slide. Now you might say to me, Dave, how about acrylic or CA glue or crazy glue? It's way too brittle. And if the player drops the slide with the button or the harmonica, the button will pop off. You can reglue it with more CA glue, but with that epoxy, you have to get it off the way I get them off, which is to, use a little tool I made and pop it. It's not coming off as a normal rule. I wouldn't use a rubber glue. It's not tough enough. Slides are under a lot of torque. And I leave that alone for 20 hours. I'm not going to touch that at all until it's really dry. And it's on there.